We've erased the dip caused by the recent recession. As you can see on the infographics on your table, sales of vehicles are at near record levels, and we expect to reach 375,000 units in 2016. Long-distance campers are returning to the federal, the state, and private campgrounds. Interest rates, gas prices, and consumer confidence are stable. And adventure vehicles and RVs are growing in popularity and trending across many of the social media outlets. So we should all feel optimistic when it comes to the RV market in general. But we also live in rapidly changing times. There are several important trends I think we need to watch. First, we're witnessing significant demographic shifts. 82% of the U.S. market now lives in urban environments, and it's 50% worldwide. 40% of millennials are now minorities. So why is this important? Recreation companies have benefited from a rural-based, Caucasian-driven baby boom. We're now evolving into an urban-based, multiracial future. So the very definition of what it means to recreate is changing, as well as the makeup of our end consumer. Second, we're seeing new consumer behaviors and expectations. Online platforms, mobile apps have elevated the need to excel at consumer-centric design and service. In a push of a button, you can call a cab, you can find a room, and we all can Christmas shop for our entire family. So why is this significant? These innovations have fundamentally changed purchasing attitudes and expectations when it comes to convenience and access. And many young consumers now prefer to share rather than own. Whether purchasing, renting, or servicing an RV, dealer suppliers, manufacturers must provide a comprehensive solution now with the push of a button. And finally, we're facing transformational technologies. Smart, self-driven vehicles are currently being tested on the highways as we meet. Green technologies continue to improve fuel economy. And a Chinese manufacturer recently 3D printed 10 houses in a day. I'm going to say that again. A Chinese manufacturer 3D printed 10 houses in a day. So the question is, who in this room will be the first to print 10 self-driving electric vehicles in a day? And that time may be much closer than you think. When asked what made him the greatest, Hall of Fame hockey player Wayne Gretzky said, "I skate to where the puck is going to be, not to where it's been." And in this rapidly changing business environment, we all need to skate to where the puck is going to be. RVIA and the National Show, we must help you get there and to keep pace with the rapidly changing times. Now, familiar brands like Blockbuster Video, Kodak cameras, Corona typewriters, they didn't change. And each ignored very well-known market trends and suffered as a result. But many companies do thrive in times of change. And one great example is Whole Foods, the organic food company out of Texas. And it's a supermarket for those who don't know about it. They're the best at what they do. 10 years ago, you didn't have much competition. But then Walmart, Kmart, Target, all of the local supermarkets all began to introduce organic offerings. So how are they different? What did they do? They took all of that great produce that was in their store and they put it into breakfast, lunch, and buffets. So instead of being a company that was focused on getting one customer in once a week to do their supermarket shopping, they became still that, but they became the most popular place to have breakfast, lunch, and dinner. In Colorado, the stores that pioneered this, they became the #1 chain in the entire, #1 store within the entire chain. And their metrics were off the roof. And instead of just seeing one customer once a week, they were seeing them 3, 4, or 5 times even in a day. So we brought in Peter Sheehan, a renowned innovation consultant, friend of mine from a few years, who will help RV businesses think a little more about how to survive and thrive in these fast-changing times, and he'll be with us in just a few moments. I'd like to leave you with one final thought. What we ultimately sell is transformative, it's powerful, it's deep, it's personal. It's also our greatest strategic advantage because consumers are always in search of meaningful experiences. And I know this personally from my own relationship with my son. As a father, like any dad, I was very excited to have a boy and have the opportunity to go play football, throw catch, maybe watch a football game. But my son, he was different. He didn't want to do the things that I did with my father. He loved chemistry. He preferred to spend time with the periodic tables or to teach himself calculus than to go out and play sports. So I struggled to find a way to connect with him. And it was through recreation that I found the path. I remember the early days going to national parks. I remember the first time he caught a fish and he pulled it in, put it in a bucket. And he's standing over the bucket, he picks it up and he lifts it up to me with his beautiful, beautiful young eyes. And he goes, "Dad, look at what I just caught. What should we name him?" And I said, "How about dinner?" This continued as we went and started to camp around the country and all across Colorado where I was living at the time. And it was on those trips that I took him on his first fly fishing adventures. The adventures that we do every year, week after every year, guide trip, annually somewhere. It's been our bonding, and it was something that we did every weekend when he was a teenager before he left and went to school and to college. So for me, this is one of the most critical parts of our relationship with our families, with our sons, and it's been a critical moment for me. My son, when we went on one particular trip, left a message on my phone at work, and it was a very tough day. I had just gotten back from the 3-day weekend with him, checked in, tons of stuff, just like everyone here can relate to. And I get to my phone, I pick it up, and there's a message, and there's from my son. And I dial it up, and he goes, "Hey Dad, it's Cole. And I just wanted to thank you. That was the best weekend of my life. Bye." Click. Now, how beautiful is that? That's what we sell. So as you head to the show floor, remember, the state of the RV market is strong and it's promising. Customers are changing and in search of greater convenience and access. RV businesses are well poised to provide the ultimate package solution for the greatest mobile generation who are looking for greater access and convenience. And never forget the power and the promise of what we really sell. And that's the greatest weekends of our customers' lives. And that's available at RV dealers everywhere. Thank you for listening and welcoming me to the industry. I look forward to meeting you all on the show floor.